Hi everyone, my name is Juanjie Li from Tongji University. Today my topic is a study of healthy lighting for learning performance and visual fatigue in school-age children with reading and writing tasks. For school-age children between 6 to 18 years old, during their critical period of growth and development, a beneficial lighting environment can enhance visual comfort, learning efficiency, and maintain visual health effectively. Study confirmed that high illuminance and high color temperatures improve children's visual acuity and task performance, while low illuminance and low color temperature increase visual comfort, reduce eye fatigue, and minimize impacts on sleep and circadian rhythms. For East Asian school-age children, they have an extremely high prevalence of myopia. The number is 73%, compared to North America and Africa and also South America children. The number is much lower. And insufficient indoor lighting is a risk factor of myopia. Children are highly responsive to illuminance and color temperature, while current standards often cater to adults. Advanced dimming techniques are necessary to provide more targeted lighting environments for children. The experimental scenarios were a crossover design of 2 illuminance levels and 2 color temperature levels. The 2 illuminance levels are 300 lux and 1200 lux, and the 2 color temperature levels are 2800 Kelvin and 5000 Kelvin. The laboratory was equipped with desk lamp and downlights. The illuminator surface of the desk lamp is approximately 45 cm by 10 cm rectangle, meeting the AA level requirements for illuminance and uniformity in Chinese standard GVT 9473 for paper task table lamps. The ceiling houses 6 dimmable downlights, which diameter of 8 cm and 12 watts for ambient illumination. A 3:1 ratio between the task area and the background area illuminance is maintained with consistent color temperature in both areas across the 4 experimental scenes. A calibrated spectroradiometer is used to measure kernel illuminance, SPD and CRI, and for all the scenarios, the CRI are axis 98. For participants, 22 school-age children, 13 of them are girls, 9 of them are boys, aged 6 to 12, participated in the study. The inclusion criteria are children with normal vision or those who are wearing corrective glasses for myopia or hyperopia. They all received the ophthalmological examination, and the exclusion criteria are children without sleep or mood issues. I identified them through PSQI, SAS, and SDS skills. Those who have traveled across time zones in the past 3 months and those who have color vision deficiencies were excluded. In the end, 18 children complete the study. Participants have an average sleep onset time of 10:24 p.m. and an offset time of 6:55 a.m. They are all classified as early chronotypes according to the MCTQ, and all of the children's parents provided informed consent. The experiment was held in a high-fidelity children's room laboratory with white diffuse furniture. The room surface had reflectance of 0.8 to 0.6, which meets the relevant standards. The study featured paper and app for reading and writing, with paper reflectance between 0.4 to 0.7, and the iPad screen brightness at 50%, which is 126 candela per square meter. The iPad was angled at 75 degrees, and both the iPad and the paperwork plane are positioned 40 to 50 centimeters to the participants' eyes. After literature review, I have chosen some testing methods with high efficacy. For visual performance, I divided into two parts, the paperwork and the VDT work. I use the classical Landau green test and the Scott grid test, and as well as the D2 test for paperwork, and the go not to go test and Freiburg vision test for VDT work. As for visual fatigue, I use 5-level Likert scale, and I use KSS for subjective alertness evaluation and psychomotor resilience task for objective alertness evaluation. The study was a random controlled experiment. Considering the non-image forming effects of light, the light exposure time of participants needed to be strictly controlled, and all the participants were required to complete the experiment with 2 different color temperature light scenarios on 2 independent daytime days between 10 a.m. to 16 p.m. with a 1-week washout period. Then comes the result. For PSQI score, all of the children have good sleep quality. The result conformed to the actual conditions because compared to adults, children and adolescents experienced fewer sleep issues and have less exposure to caffeine-containing beverages or alcohol. And for subjective measurements to visual fatigue, 72 of 18 distributed questionnaires could return validly at a 19% recovery rate, and the highest level of visual fatigue was reported in the high color temperature and high illuminance scenario, while the lowest was reported in the low color temperature and low illuminance scenario. Visual fatigue was measured across 3 subscales: dry eyes, other discomfort, and blurriness. And after 41 minutes of reading and writing, all participants exhibited increased symptoms of visual fatigue compared to baseline, with dry eyes being the most affected. I used semantic differential skill analysis for lighting environment assessment and preference analysis. 19 perceptual words were used in the skill, and participants viewed all 4 experimental light scenarios positively, with illuminance significantly influencing their subjective perception. High illuminance were perceived as neutral, while low illuminance felt mild and familiar. There was a significant difference in the perception of vividness, with different illuminance levels being more vivid at low illuminance and more flat at high illuminance. CCTs significantly affect the perception of warmth, with warmer feelings at 2,800 Kelvin and cooler at 5,000 Kelvin. And for alertness levels, Although the ANOVA results show no significant difference in alertness, from the box diagram, we can see that higher alertness show under high color temperature compared to the low color temperature scenario. And paper work performance, although ANOVA showed no significant difference in error rates or completion times, from the box diagram, we can see that high color temperature scenarios resulted in lower error rates and better task performance than the lower color temperature scenarios. And for VDT work, the ANOVA results show significant difference in average error rates across lighting scenarios, and with a medium effect size. And in high illuminance scenarios had lower error rates and better task performance than low illuminance scenarios. Then comes the discussion. I have two key points. The first one is high color temperature and illuminance improve children's alertness and task performance. According to the non-image forming effects of light, blue enriched SPD and as well as a high intensity of illuminance both enhance alertness and accuracy. And the second is daytime studies should use high color temperature and illuminance for better performance. But in the evening, when children study, they should be limited with light to avoid disrupting sleep, with recommendations for color temperature between 2800 to 4000 Kelvin, and the desktop illuminance around 300 will be good, and the kernel illuminance around 100 lux will be good. Alternating study and rest and using VDT eye protection mode in the evening can reduce eye strain. Then comes the conclusion. I summarize it into 5 parts. The first is children experience the least visual fatigue under low color temperature and illuminance. After 41 minutes of homework, all the children feel eye fatigue, than the baseline scenarios. And the second is higher alertness and lower error rates were always observed under high color temperature and high illuminance scenarios. And high lighting levels will increase visual fatigue, while low lighting levels and low illuminance and color temperature offer visual comfort and relaxation. The fourth is illuminance affect color perception, and color temperatures influence temperature perception. The last one is age and gender did not affect the subjective measures of alertness, homework performance, or visual fatigue. That's all. Thank you.